once you're building any brand, the first thing you have to always think about is, how can I build a community for this business? Using influencers amplifies your brand, but doesn't solidify your community. Nobody will probably even use Google again.
True.
AI is already in the place.
Exactly.
ChatGPT is already there. Don't be an Instagram vendor. Have something external that you have your website. You have control of your website. A lot of brands need to understand that if you don't jump on the bandwagon of using social media, these creators are going to come for you.
Don't waste your money on the billboards. We're not saying that it doesn't work, but right now it's just easier because when those billboards are not there, the people that you have in your community will support the work that you're doing.
It's Manuel's this current song now. Ooh, we.
Sorry, do that again.
Right?
Hi everyone, so welcome to episode 1 of The Art of Creativity by Iyoki Media. And with me, I've got my partner in crime, Mr. Bobby Opala. So today, first of all, we're going to be talking about why Iyoki Media is a social-centric business and why today you should build your business on social media. Right? So the world is changing as we know it. Before, the conventional method of billboards and TV would have been nice, but now businesses are best built on social media because when you create value, you can create a community that will buy into the value that you're creating. It's easier to push your business that way, and it's easier to find the people that would support what you're doing. So right now, creating value and building that community is what you need to do. So don't waste your money on the billboards. We're not saying that it doesn't work, but right now it's just easier because when those billboards are not there, the people that you have in your community will support the work that you're doing, and which means when you have their attention, you can keep adding more services, more things to them, and they'll keep patronizing it. So right now, I'm going to pass it to the master of the social-centric business, Mr. Bobby. Take it over.
Okay, so I think the first place I'll start from community. So I don't think there's any brand today that is known or that has grown over the years that didn't have community.
Yeah.
They were able to build a strong community of people through any medium that was available at that time, because the community of people that you have is technically the fan base that will push that brand for you and tell more people about your brand. Mm-hmm. And when you've gotten your business to the point where you have a solid community, you've literally solidified your brand among people. But the thing is that the only way that you can get that community or build that community is through content.
Yeah.
I'll start from newspapers. The day I was thinking about this, and I thought about the reason why when we're young kids liked opening or using newspaper. Why? Because there was a part of that newspaper that had stories on it.
Yeah.
Or they had the games like the cartoons or the puzzle or the Sudoku or all those games. Those were things that actually got them engaged. So even though this is a newspaper that has so many boring content to them, they still opened it to look at this paper because of that particular part. So content has always played a key role across all media platforms. So you can't good content that people want to consume and community go hand in hand. You need the good content to build community.
Feed the community. Yeah.
And now over the years, it started from newspapers and it moved down to, the internet came about where there were emails, Google, then social media now came aboard. And social media has evolved over the years.
Yeah.
There were some older platforms that have died, and there's some newer platforms. But right now, it has solidified in the sense that there is nobody today that would say they don't know at least the 7 most relevant social platforms. That's one. 2 is that there's no one that would say, or let me not say there's no one, because I know there's some people that don't still use social media, but I would say 85% of the world right now use social media. And when you think of any brand, if I'm talking to someone and I'm like, oh, do you know this particular brand? The first thing they might most likely search is an Instagram page or a Facebook or TikTok. And by the way, even if you say, okay, they will check website. If they go to the website, if I go to your website and I see your website and I see, okay, you do this particular business, whether it's a product based or service based. Okay, fine. I've seen your website, but I want to know more about you.
Like
I
who's
go,
even using it?
yeah.
Who
Then I
has
go to your social
consumers?
media because I want to understand what your business is about, and social media is what helps me.
Yeah.
Now, speaking to why we are social centric is because in this time we have observed consumer behavior, and which is something that led to us being that kind of business is we're moving based on where the end consumers are. And right now, majority of the end consumers now are on social.
Yeah.
And because we're trying to build community, we need to build community through the medium that is most evident in the time. And now social media is that platform. And now when we think about brands coming to meet us as being like, oh, come up with a market strategy for me, the first place I would think about first is your social media. I won't think of SEO first. I won't think of your website first, even though those are all part of it. But the point is that we're social centric and we place social at the center. So we start from social media and spread across. So social media is the core, then we spread across. So does it mean that having a website is not good? No, it's definitely good. You need a website. You need to have good SEO for your website, right? You need to have you need to still have other forms of digital marketing, email marketing, and all of that. Even though, yes, they might not be so evident right now, but it's
Yeah.
still needed. However, social media is still the core, especially from B2C businesses. You need to have a solid social media because you can't grow your brand. Now I keep using the word brand because most people think that brand is about most people mistake brand for business. But what people don't understand is that brand is basically the perception of people or the perception that people have about your
what you're doing.
business. And the only way that you can do that is by connecting with them on a level where they get emotionally connected to your business. And now, because social media is the core thing, the only way people can really get emotionally connected to your business is when they are seeing content that connects with them on your
Exactly.
platforms. So if someone goes to your page and they're seeing just product pictures, just pictures. At some point they get tired. Your page will no longer be something that people are looking to go to and just stay on your platform and get all your content, right? So now we are in that point where social media has become a household name. Everybody is using their phones. You want to order something. Some people are checking Instagram first, right? And so social platforms are evolving. So yeah, that's why we're social centric. Is SEO working? Yes, it works, but what's the percentage is quite low. So if I get to put on a 100% scale, social takes like 70%. Every other one is important, but social takes like 70% because no matter how good your website is, people used to go to your platforms
kind
and
of
want
see.
I want to understand what's happening on social media, especially for B2C businesses, business to the end consumer. So
We can also say that the numbers don't lie because people want to see the amount of people that are interacting with your businesses. So when you even want to know what is working for your business and what isn't, you can check the analytics. You can kind of see what is going on behind the scene. At what point are people having engagement? At what point are people losing engagement as well? And I mean, when you think about it, you can also say that your content serves as your portfolio. So you can have a good product, but how do I know how to use it? I might even get your product, but maybe I'm not using the right way. When different content starts to speak to the different ways that that product can be used, it even expands the range of what you can use your product for. And then more people can engage with that. So I think people should stop seeing social media as not important, but see it as a way of displaying, like, let me start displaying my works and seeing the people that are engaging with it. For example, someone tells me that this bag is good. I might look at the website and think, oh, this looks like a pretty bag. But when I see like 5, 6, 7, 8 people buying it, posing with it, telling me about how the bag made them feel, I'm creating that emotional value with the bag. And then I'm like, actually, this bag is not bad. I've seen people use it. Same thing like things like skincare products, just things that people actually use when they see result. Like the other day, I think I was on a skincare brand thing and I was there for almost like 2 hours. Why? Because I was so captivated by the result. I saw what they were doing and I thought, even though I don't know these guys, because I'm seeing what they're doing, I want to go there and like have a consultation, right? And the only reason why I got to that space is because I saw the result of their work and I saw people engage with it and I saw the testimonials. And when I even went down to read down the comment, people were like, oh my God, where are you guys? Where can I patronize you? Oh, come to America. So you could even tell where the demand of the brand was growing. And I realized that that brand started from Lagos, but because they had so many engaging content, they had to start to open a branch in Abuja. And people were saying, oh, please come to America, please come to London. So now there is a demand for them to expand, right? And we see that in music, we see that in so many things as well, right? So, so speaking to like businesses, maybe even startups or people that are planning to kind of create new businesses right now, what do you think would be the best way to position themselves? Because we're talking about being a social centric business. What are practical advice that you can actually give people to be like, okay, I'm starting a new business?
Okay, so the first thing I would say is that going back to what I said earlier about community. So once you're building any brand, the first thing you have to always think about is how can I build a community for this business? Even if whether you sell clothes, whether you sell food, whether you do B2B, whether you are doing a service-based business, whatever the case might be, always think about how can I build a community. And what you have to understand is that, like I said earlier, also you can't build a community of people if you don't have good content. Now, not just good content that maybe the quality of the video is good in terms of the image, but good content that connects, good content that people can binge watch, those kinds of things, because that's what make people want to come to your platform every time. Then the third thing, which is really the main thing I will actually now say, is stay on the most relevant platform. Now, what are the most relevant platforms right now for social? Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, Twitter or X, LinkedIn. Especially if you're B2B, you should be on LinkedIn. What else? There's Snapchat. Most people are sleeping on Snapchat as businesses because they feel like Snapchat used to be this young platform, but really it's a big deal now. There's YouTube. I'm not sure I'm missing any other one, but I guess if I'm missing anyone, it will probably be communicated. But like these 7 platforms are very important to be on. You have to have an account on all these platforms. That is the new way to position yourself now. So yes, having an office space is all fine and good, but you have to be able to position yourself online. Obviously, yes, you should have a website. You should have a good website, especially if you're a business that wants to sell online. You should have a very good website. Now, once you created this account across these platforms, you created this your digital brand. That's what I call it digital brand touch points. Your social media pages, your website, your emails, your WhatsApp channels and all those things. WhatsApp is another platform. WhatsApp. Most businesses are sleeping on WhatsApp, but there are a lot of features that
People
can
even build communities on
WhatsApp. So WhatsApp channels. Now, once you've sorted out all of this, the next thing that I'm thinking about is content. You have to think about content. Like I said, you need content to that people can watch to build a community. And you start thinking about, okay, what kind of content will I start putting out on my platform? So, for example, let me just because about startup. Let me now use an example I spoke with someone very recently that was telling me about this new tech stuff that he's trying to do and trying to build this solution that would basically help for petrol and things like that. And I remember telling him that, oh, right, I mean, at this point, they're still at the building stage. But something that you can do, you can start building a community of people. How? By probably telling people the journey of coming up with this idea, of bringing out this idea, telling that story, right? Now, one thing that I'm seeing in social media now is that a lot of people connect with founders now when these founders are able to come out and share their story or talk about how they are building their businesses. There's this particular brand abroad, I can't remember the name now, but it's a cafe brand. And what this founder does now is he every day he writes or he lets people know how many coffee he sold or how many cups of coffee he sold that day, how much they made and what their revenue is. So it helps, it literally makes him connect with these people and he's building a community, because now if this guy decides to do an event, people will show up because they'll be like, oh, I connect with this guy. I might not have tasted his coffee before, but I connect with him. Like me now, I mean, I've not tasted coffee before. I don't even know exactly where he is, what country he is. He's never in Nigeria, but I know his business. There are other content creators or there are other creators too that I know that do businesses and also tell their story or their businesses, and I connect with them heavy. So the content is what played that role. Is that the more they kept creating very good storytelling driven, creative driven, and binge worthy driven content, it connected with the audience. So for any brand right now that is a startup or an already established brand, the first thing I would say is that review the platform that they're on. Should it be on every platform? I would say yes. Is it a must? I would say no. It's not a must that every business should be on every platform. It's not a must, because there's some businesses that might not be able to manage that. They want to start. But what I would say is that if you are a B2C business, if you are selling to the end consumer, you must at least be on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter, and TikTok.
Yeah.
Because those are platforms that would give you the most reach, especially with features like Instagram Reels and TikTok algorithm
Yeah.
and Facebook Reels too. And even Twitter is really coming up now in the video space. So these are platforms that can give you as much reach as possible. And if you're B2B, you should be on LinkedIn and even Instagram and TikTok. It will give you as much reach. So I'll tell you to first of all review the platforms, make sure that you're on the right platforms and you have a good data brand touch points. Where basically data brand touch points are basically areas digitally that the consumer can connect with you, right? Once that has been sorted out, the next you start looking at is what is my content strategy like? What kind of content am I creating? Is this content working? Right? And people always talk about numbers. Yes, numbers don't lie, but in this time of AI and bots,
True. People
some
actually
numbers
buy.
lie. People are buying followers, and I would say this for people that are buying followers. I'll make you understand that in the long run, it's going to affect you. It could help you in giving you numbers, and people will be like, "Oh, this page has 10,000 or 50,000 followers." Yeah, it's for all fine and
But
good.
the engagement is like
Even though people buy engagement now, but
People
now
buy
people buy
engagement,
engagement. But now here's the problem, though. When you are done buying these things, a time is coming how you can prove if you actually have a community of people. Because one time people don't understand is that having a community of people, you can literally make more money aside what you do as a business. So, for example, a barbing salon, they built a community online with doing their content and everything. The next thing that can happen is that they basically can decide to one day throw a pop-up.
Yeah, exactly.
It is that community of people that they built that will come. Or they decide to start to sell something maybe like a merch, or maybe they start making their own product and want to sell. Is that community of people that will help them. So one thing I will say is, if you buy fake followers, it will test in the long run. Just like when people talk about streaming farms in the music space and stuff like that. Yeah, I mean, you could make money on streaming platforms because actually on streaming platforms they can recognize the numbers and think it's real numbers and you get paid. But the problem is that one thing is, from what I've heard from other artists that I've spoken to, I'm made to understand that most artists make their money from their shows.
Yes.
So now if you're having 10 million streams or 5 million listeners, but you throw a show in Lagos and you're not having up to 1,000 people show for your show, what's the point?
Yeah.
And like I said, you make more money in the show. So if you're not now building that strong community, you're getting it wrong. So I would say I would never advise anyone to buy followers or buy likes or buy engagement. You can start creating, even if you have just 2,000 followers. Once you have built a community of people, you can even make money from that community.
Yeah.
There are people that have built 2K, 3K, 5K followers, and they have at least 10% of those followers as core fan base.
Yeah.
They can sell a product of 5K, even if you have only 100 people. You can sell a product of 5K, and you're making how much? You made them
500K.
over 500K, yeah, right. And I mean, and that's just. And now, guess what? Those people, those 100 people that you have, if you manage them well, they can spread the noise.
Exactly.
They can spread the noise. So I don't believe in buying fake followers. So going back to what I said about brands, review the content that you post. Are you posting the right content that is building community? Like I said, you can look at your numbers. If you didn't buy followers, you can look at your numbers to see what's going on.
What is working?
Now, when you started having a good amount of engagement, how are you managing? There's something called community management. How are you, first of all, why are you building that community? Because sometimes that's the first place to build, but now what platform are you going to build? If you're having a lot of content, if you're getting a lot of engagement on your content on social media, you're getting a lot of likes, a lot of comments, start thinking of ways to move your core fan base from that social media to a separate platform. So, for example, you're building things like WhatsApp groups. Instagram now has this channel that they have called it's called channel, and each creator can create a channel, and they have like a core fan base there. So on WhatsApp that now has the community stuff. You can build the community there. You can even create an email list. You're carrying them somewhere because why? Because even though we believe in social media, we're not tied to one platform. We don't
Yeah.
believe, Instagram is the best, or TikTok is the best. No, I just believe in
Even what
social.
happens where, for example, your
It has to go
Instagram
down. Or your
exactly
Instagram just gets meets or something
missing,
happens to
yeah,
your
and
account or
then that
anything.
means everything you built gone.
Exactly. So this is why it's just important for brands to just always think about building a community outside social platforms. When I say social platform, I mean, independent of Instagram, Facebook, all of this. So you can create it like an email list, or you can even start from maybe the normal WhatsApp community, but you can maybe at the end of the day get to maybe things like an email list, because at least an email is separate from all these platforms. You get, so
Yeah.
it helps to just prevent any issues. And you know when I see some businesses that build when I see some businesses that build their whole structure and system around one platform. For example, Instagram businesses, people that sell on Instagram alone. I have a problem with that. The reason being that, what if this account goes down? I've seen a lot of
Exactly.
businesses that every day they're always opening a new account, a new account, a new account. Why do you have to build your business there? There are so many platforms out there that you can channel people to. There's so many applications or tech products out there now that help you to sell on those platforms. Why do you have to
Yeah.
sell on Instagram? What if Instagram goes down? Right? So you see that there's some days that maybe Instagram or Facebook as a whole goes down
Goes
like that.
down.
The time that it
Yeah.
happened, that
Yeah, it
WhatsApp was
happens.
not working, it was not
Yeah.
working, you now
People
lose
panic.
customers. So people need to learn how to not romanticize any platform. Be agnostic to it. Learn it. Learn how to use it, but be agnostic to it. Meaning, don't stay on one platform and make it seem like, oh, this is the one and all. Be on all platforms. Be on other platforms. And also, as a business, don't build your structure. I don't believe that you should build your structure and your system around a platform. Don't be an Instagram vendor. Have something external that you have your website. You have control of your website,
Yeah.
right? Have something. Build it outside. Social media can be used to build community, but I don't think it should be a platform to sell. Can you sell? Yeah, but like I feel like you should have something external to sell, like your website that you have control of, because your website too can help you build community, right? So that's what I would just say about being a social centric company. We're just a company that thinks about social media first in everything that we're doing. Every strategy, every plan, everything that we do, we think about social first.
Yeah.
So, and that is just it.
Yeah, I like that. I mean, so what I'm hearing from this is that for people starting a business or even currently having a business, think about social media as your kind of funnel to build the people and get your community, but take them elsewhere.
And yes,
Take them elsewhere, like move them to a place that you can control, because you
yeah,
can't control social media. At some point, anything can happen. But if you move them somewhere, you have them, and you just use social media to keep building the community, so that you can keep servicing them with the
yeah.
values that they
So I would say
that
that
they need.
you can look at that as, I can say that maybe I'll probably just call it like a community funnel,
Yeah,
where the
exactly.
top is just, the generic followers and generic likes and generic engagement on social media, and it comes down to like your core fan base, which is built off these
Also, so,
platforms,
yeah,
right? And those are people that can even say that these are your core fans. These are people that will come for your events. These are people that will buy your products, buy your other products. These are people that will try out other things that you have. These are people that will literally speak about your brand everywhere. These are
yeah,
your
yeah,
core. So I think for both creator and brands, for any creator that's out there creating stuff, don't limit your stuff to just, for example, I saw this guy that just recently did the Guinness World Record, for La David. He lost his account.
yeah.
So imagine, he lost his IG account and he had built it when. So imagine if, I don't know what the community is like, but let's imagine if maybe he doesn't have a community outside that Instagram. He has lost
He's
all
lost
those things.
everything.
You
Starting
have to start
again.
again, to start building again. Yeah, obviously, so people that really generally follow him and everything will probably have, you know, will follow his new account, but you have lost the account. You have to take that again. So
Yeah,
what I would say is that always have a core fan base outside, and serve them.
and
Not
serve
just
them. Yeah,
having
create
them,
value for
serve
them.
them. That talks about community management, which we can talk about another topic.
Yeah.
So
I think this is good because one of the things that you said that I think it's very important for brands or businesses to know is that even the money that they're looking for, the customers they're looking for, having that community will help them build that. So
yeah.
I think it would be good for us to talk about sort of case studies, right? Maybe look at two industries. So let's look at, for example, I know there was a time, I think it was Rika Sani, he was doing lots of content, and then he was able to create his own show based on the demand he was getting from his streaming, and he had a successful show,
Yeah.
right? And he wasn't out there as much yet, like in the A-list artist then, but he was able to have a very successful show, and everybody got attention to that. But what he did was that he saw his fan base and the community that was working for him, and he went there to throw them a show, and people turned up. And from there, like, things picked up even faster, and his community grew. And he's a very brilliant artist. So more people got to see that. So we have today people able to do that. And music is an example. You have businesses, right? So are there like maybe two industries we can talk about, maybe just case studies you can look at, just to give an example of how they've been able to build that community to push their brand?
Okay, so the first person, that's from a creator standpoint now, the first person I will talk about is, I'll start with Salem King.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I've been following Salem King for a while. I've been observing and watching.
I followed him when it started. I even sent him a message, oh my God, I like your content.
Yeah,
And
like I've been
that was
following,
the
like,
first time, yeah.
I'm not sure I'm following him, like actually following him now,
Yeah.
but like when I mean, like I've been observing his platform, and he has built a solid platform. Like when he posts content now, I look at the engagement. I'm not just looking at the engagement that I just maybe like people are actually speaking. Like he's building like he has built a solid community of people. I've done events that
He's done events, yeah.
show up. He has done courses and stuff like that. Like this is a guy that you know, at the beginning, I've heard his story. He said at the beginning when you started posting content, that a lot of people that were commenting on his post was replying to every single one
I was
of them.
one of them.
Yeah, and that was one of the ways he was building community. Now he cannot reply everybody, but he has built a solid community of people. When he got married, everybody cared about his wedding and stuff like that. People were even saying, we're online in-laws. He has built a community of people. People love him. People, because he has given so much value, right? So Salem King, one of those people that I feel like they view social media well. They have an identity on social media.
Yeah.
People know it for something. They know that he has a black and white theme. He wears black. Everybody knows that.
Did you get?
You know, he has built a solid community of people, and he has also created a community outside of social media.
Yes.
So at this point, I don't even think there's anything I can even say about him that he's not doing right. Right? He was being consistent. He was posting as much content as possible. He was valuable. He was posting valuable content, and he was actively engaging with his community, and still does engage with his community. And you know, he's one of those people that I see. Another person I can even think about now in the music space. So first of all, before I go to the actual plan to talk about Johnny Drew, you know, as funny as it sounds, a lot of people talk about how Johnny Drew is not really that top A-list artist, even though he has been there. But the truth matter is that Johnny Drew does events almost every year in different cities, and it's always sold out.
So packed.
So his numbers on streaming platform might not be all that, based on maybe when you check Spotify, according to maybe any statistics that anybody's using. But he's selling out shows. And don't forget, like we said earlier, you make more money from these shows than even the streaming platform. But he's selling out shows. He's performing at different weddings. He has done things to build his community too. He has done a lot of content too on his page.
All the
he does
time.
content
on the daily.
and he has built a community of people, and he has taken it outside too. So people now know him for something. He has his core fan base that once he drops his song, they go and stream his song. And even if he has only 500,000 streams, out of that 500,000 streams, maybe 1,000 of them can come for his shows, and he'll still make money. So he's one of those people. Another person I've really been observing for the past 1 year or more now is Manuel's this current song now. Ooh wee.
Sorry, do that again.
Ooh wee. Right? Like I've observed that guy, and my God, that guy does content like crazy.
I think the first time I came across Manuel was actually an ad. Like he just did this ad, they had music in the background, but he was doing the same, and I kept seeing him everywhere, like constantly.
I see him all the time, and I'm like, this guy knows something that a lot of artists don't know. He has been posting content, I think, almost on every song that he has done. I don't think he has done anything less than 20 pieces of content for that song. Even for this current song he just did now, this Ooh Wee song, I think when I counted, I think he has done over close to 15 videos already. And this is a song that was dropped on the 30th of August. Today is the 17th, that's when we're recording this. Today is 17th. And I've done close to 15. So it means that he was posting at least, or Yes, at least once a day
Mm-hmm.
from when he released the song, and he'll probably still post more. And his song currently has
Almost a million
almost
views.
a million streams only on Spotify though.
Yeah, only
So
on
we don't even know
Spotify.
other platforms. So like, and the song is trending now. It has become a TikTok sound. I've done an Instagram sound. It's trending, and I'm seeing this guy, and I'm like, wow. And he has also done, like, I've seen him do some community events. So people even like now. People know, and he has built an identity down because people now know him for this guy that has, he's with no hair and everything. He has built a brand for himself now. So people now love him, right? He has used social media right. So what
Yeah.
I would just say is that these are some of the examples of creators. In terms of brands, do I know any brands that really use social media right now? I can't really think of any brand right now because, to be honest with you, in Nigeria, a lot of these companies, a lot of brands don't they don't think of social media as this platform
That is so
that can be used for
important.
community
Yeah.
building. They don't. Sometimes they don't look at it as it's just okay. It's a platform. What you just see them doing is you just see them posting graphics and posting so many graphic content. They're not really big on
They rather spend money
trying
on
to.
billboards and
They have money on billboards
SEO.
and using influencers, which is not bad. Using influencers is not bad, but
But isn't using influencers the same time as using social media? Because it's just them using the influencers who have
now here's
community.
the thing: using influencers amplifies your brand, but doesn't
Doesn't build.
solidify
Yeah,
your
exactly.
community. Now, so if let's assume you already have community, let's assume you already have good content on your page. You can now integrate an influencer to just amplify, and when they now come, they now see a stark load of content that they'll be like,
Yeah.
oh wow, this brand have been doing some crazy. Let me keep watching, and I keep watching and watching, and I'm like, oh great, I love this brand. I love what they're doing through the content,
But
right?
the point I was trying to make there was that it's because the influencer has a community
Exactly. They have a
that
community
they
of
can
people.
then
That's the
use that
reason
to then
why.
amplify their
Yeah.
brand. So
Yeah,
why don't you
exactly.
do the same
Yeah,
thing?
exactly.
Yeah.
So a lot of brands don't do that. And that's one thing I would say to brands is that regardless of the industry that you're in, understand that creators in that industry are coming for your business.
Exactly.
What I would say is that a lot of people don't
Exactly.
realize what is going on now. We're seeing creators on social media that have built solid community over the years are now building businesses that are competing with brands that have been there for years. We're seeing people like Mr. Beast starting a burger company, starting chocolate company, and competing with chocolate companies that have been there for years. As in, they've held down the market for
Because of the
years.
community that he
God of
has.
his community. We're seeing in the drinks, we're seeing KSI and Logan creating Prime, signing different young footballers and young footballers in different clubs and sponsoring football clubs. We're seeing them going crazy. They're putting the stuff in every single content that they're doing, and they've already built a solid fan base. Now I saw what's her name? I saw some content one time. It looks like she's working on this her own cooking cube and all. She's working on creating her own business now. So a lot of brands need to understand that if you don't jump on the bandwagon of using social media, these creators are going to come for you. And when they come for you, best believe that because they've already had a solid community and they already know how to create content, is already like they don't need to stress themselves too much. They will get it right. And this their fan base will flock
To them, yeah.
to them. So brands need to understand that you can try to think that, oh, because I've been there for 15 years, 20 years, 30 years, I've solidified the market and all of that.
Nobody can.
But if you don't understand that we're in the world where people now are driven, people like if you don't understand that now community is a core thing,
Yeah.
I have to find ways to keep building the community even online. Yeah, you're missing a lot. And that's why the time when I see some business that say that, oh, I'm already making money now. Why do I need social media and everything? Like we're in where I'm always like, well, yes, we're still making your money, but don't forget that we're moving somewhere. A time is coming
Exactly.
where nobody will probably even use Google again.
True.
AI is already in the place.
Exactly.
ChatGPT is already there. A time is coming, ChatGPT will be able to probably know the platforms that are doing well based on the analytics on social media. AI is not integrated in social media platforms.
Yeah.
People need to understand.
Exactly.
People
world
need
is
to understand the
changing
world is
very
changing.
rapidly.
So if you don't start taking social media serious, then it's fine. Like keep doing you. But let's not forget that over the years there have been different businesses that were there before that were successful, and a new thing came on board, and they
they're no
felt like
longer, yeah.
that new thing is not important. And I mean, look at a platform like Netflix. There was a platform that was there before. I can't remember the name of the
Exactly.
platform again now. But they lost to Netflix, and Netflix took over the market. And Netflix has always tried to keep staying with the times, right? So
And they're even using content creators.
yeah, you can
to
get
keep
great,
their brand
and a time
going.
is coming. Like a time is coming when, like, if they start seeing that people are pivoting into something, they will have to now try and integrate that into what they already do, right? So people need to understand that social media is becoming a big deal. It's a big deal, but it's getting to a point where it's going to be a bigger deal. Like literally seeing people now creating full blown content on Twitter now, on X. Or see, yeah, we're hearing that content creators have started posting now on on X, and just like how Facebook pays people,
Yeah.
Twitter started paying. A time is coming.
And that's more
A
incentive.
time is coming because people are spending their time on social media. They'll no longer be watching. Even YouTube self will start being a problem.
And that's why they started creating shorts too.
Shorts too, exactly. So people need to understand that social media is here to stay. It's not going anywhere. More platforms will probably come up, right? And what the best thing I can do is observe the platform, understand the platform, and integrate it. When Threads came on board, I went on this straight up and I said, the first thing that you guys should do is observe this platform for the next 1 week, understand the platform, understand what it does. And even though it seems like it's soft now and everything, I trust Mark Zuckerberg. Guy is not sleeping. He knows what he's working on. He would work on something, and over time, it becomes a solid platform now.
Yeah.
So people need to start thinking about these things. Like for brands, they need to start trying to find ways to integrate social media. Even if let's assume you have a budget of 100 million, at least start with 10 million, increase to 15, start with
Grow over
20,
time.
and grow over time. At least look into creating, and I will say it again, binge worthy content. I think we'll probably talk about this in another episode, talking about binge worthy content, because I think a lot of brands understand that when I talk about content on social media, I don't mean
Just
just
posting
comment to
a
just post
random
anything.
thing, yeah.
Create content that people will actually want to watch. Create content that people will be like, I want to go on that person's page because I know I'll see one mad content.
Yeah.
There's some creators I don't even follow, but I just be like, let me go and check person's page. I know the kind of content I'll do. So like a live Wasabi now, I just go to the page of time and just be like, let me just laugh at this content and just cry. Or maybe I'll go to someone like Lassisi's page or any of the content creators I know. I might not be following them just because
But, yeah.
I don't want to just follow a lot of people. But I remember them.
And I think also with that as well, like you said, you went to Lassisi and Lie because you wanted to laugh. So they have a clear sort of niche. You know what is interesting about them. So if I want to laugh, I know who I'm going to. If I want to get maybe content about business, I know who I'm going to. If I want to get, so there's a clarity on kind of like the niche that they are. So I think the brand that they have. So I think like that clarity is also important for brands to have. I mean, you can do multiple things, but let people know you for a core value that you're giving.
Yeah.
So that when they think about this, oh, I'm looking for the best this. Oh, why don't you check this person's page? Then, from there they can now see other things that you do. Because Lai also acts.
Yeah.
He's a lawyer. There are different versions of him, but when you think about Lai, you're thinking about, oh, that funny tall guy.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, what I would just say is that brands just are taking social media serious. If there's any brand I would actually call, is Apple. They did an event recently, and I observed immediately after the event was done, they already posted like close to 15 videos on YouTube. On Twitter, same thing. On Instagram, they've gone heavy on talking about their products. And Apple is one of those brands that I just right now I'm even subscribed to their page because like their content are just so good. Like it's just a thing where you are promoting their product, but the content is just so binge watching. I just want to enjoy watching the content, not because they're trying to buy the product. But the content is so good. So brands need to understand that the main thing I'll just say here is, if you want to build a brand right now, which I already said earlier, that the brand is basically the perception that people have of your business. If you want to build that, you have to start from social media.
Yeah.
And also, you have to understand that brand is also about building a community of people, and you can only build that community right now from social media, starting from social media to now carry it to your main platform. but starting from social media. And there is no way you can build that community without content. You need good content that people would actually want to watch, would actually want to engage with, would actually enjoy reading or watching or anything. Like, you have to do that. And like I said, also when you started having eyeballs, start transferring your core fans to a particular place
Yeah.
and nurture them for like the next time period. I don't know how long, maybe 1 year, 2 years, regardless, before you start trying to sell to them. Because by the time you've nurtured them and you want to sell, there's no longer a
Yeah.
problem. So
Yeah. That's a lot for brands to think about. I think
yeah.
for today, so, brands, businesses, view your community on social media, create a community funnel, create something outside of social media, and keep building your brand. But serve value, because without the value, your community is not going to grow. So give value, build your community, think about long term, and I would say be adaptable, because today it might be Instagram, X, Facebook, tomorrow it might be something else. So know what is happening and don't say, oh my God, this AI thing. Find out how can this add value to me. I would say, for example, AI has like saved us like 90% of our time. The things that you would have used like 10 hours doing, you can do it in literally like 5 minutes. So just get used to the change. Don't say that you can have your customer base that you currently have, but there's so much on the table you're not taking. So wouldn't it be nice to have that added to your business and your business can stay longer? So I hope you've gotten value from what we've said today. If you have any questions, feel free to ask us, and see you in episode 2.